My child, listen to me carefully. Do not let this moment pass like any other video, like any other word, like any other sound in your ears. I am speaking to you now not as a distant God, not as a silent judge, but as your Father, as your Creator, as the one who sees what no one else sees and knows what no one else knows. My child, I have seen what was done to the innocent. I have seen what was done to the weak. I have seen what was done to those who trusted, to those who believed, to those who opened their hearts and were wounded instead of protected. Do not think for a moment that anything done in darkness is hidden from me. Do not think for a moment that I am blind to tears that fall in silence or pain that is carried in secret. I am a God who sees. I am a God who remembers. I am a God who does not forget. And today, my child, I am not only speaking to comfort the wounded, I am also speaking to warn the careless, to confront the proud, and to shake the hearts of those who use power, position, or influence to harm instead of heal. My child, hear me. There is a kind of sin that reaches my throne faster than words can describe. There is a kind of evil that makes heaven itself stand in witness. It is the sin of crushing the weak. It is the sin of corrupting the innocent. It is the sin of using trust as a weapon and faith as a tool for control. Do not call it small. Do not excuse it. Do not hide it. You cannot. My child, when someone destroys the faith of another, when someone twists the heart of a child, when someone manipulates the soul of a believer, they are not only hurting a human being, they are standing against me. And I tell you this with all truth, I defend my little ones. I defend the broken. I defend the weak. I defend those who were told to be silent. I defend those who were made to feel unworthy. And I also tell you this, my justice is not asleep. Some of you listening right now were wounded by people who spoke in my name. Some of you were hurt by those who should have protected you. Some of you were confused, manipulated, controlled, or shamed by those who claimed they were serving me. My child, I want you to know something very clearly today. That was not my heart. That was not my will. That was not my voice. I am not like that. I have never been like that. And I will never be like that. I am gentle with the broken. I am patient with the weak. I am close to the wounded. And I keep records of every injustice. Even the ones no court ever saw. Even the ones no one believed. Even the ones you thought would never matter. They matter to me. My child, I am speaking to you also if you have influence over others, over children, over believers, over family, over people who trust you. Do not take lightly what I have placed in your hands. You can use words to heal or you can use words to destroy. You can guide souls toward light or you can push them into darkness. And understand this, I hold the powerful to a higher account. Do not say, everyone does it. Do not say, it's not that serious. Do not say, no one will know. I know. And my child, there is a kind of judgment that does not come from anger, but from holiness. There is a kind of justice that does not rush, but it never fails to arrive. But listen to me now. Do not only hear my warning, hear my heart. I do not only speak to judge, I speak to rescue. I do not only speak to expose, I speak to heal. I do not only speak to confront, I speak to restore. If you are wounded, come to me. If you are tired, come to me. If you are confused, come to me. If you are carrying pain that shaped your whole life, bring it to me. I am not afraid of your scars. And if you are the one who has done wrong, if you have used your power badly, if you have hurt others, if you have crossed lines, do not harden your heart. Repentance is still a door, humility is still a bridge. But do not pretend, do not delay, do not hide, because what is not healed becomes heavier. What is not confessed becomes chains. What is not repented becomes destruction. My child, I am calling my people in this generation to become protectors, not predators. Oh, become healers, not users. To become servants, not controllers. And I am calling you personally to live differently, to love purely, to walk carefully, and to carry hearts, not crush them. If these words are speaking to your spirit, do not ignore this moment. Let it change you. Let it shape you. Let it make you more gentle, more aware, more holy in how you treat others. And if you believe that I am speaking to you right now, write in the comments, "Yes, Lord, I hear you." Let that be your first step of response, not just words, but a decision in your heart. And my child, if these words are helping you, strengthening you, or healing you, then support this work. Like this message, subscribe to this channel, join this family, and if you feel blessed, you may also give through super thanks, not out of pressure, but out of gratitude. Stay with me in this series. Do not leave halfway. What I am about to teach you will protect your life, heal your past, and shape your future. I am not finished speaking. I am not silent about what breaks souls. Listen to me, my child. There are moments when the world is loud and heaven seems quiet, when injustice walks boldly and truth appears to whisper. But do not confuse my patience with my absence, and do not mistake my silence for approval. I am not silent about what breaks souls. I am not indifferent to what twists hearts. I am not unaware of what happens behind closed doors, in secret rooms, under holy titles, or behind kind smiles. I want you to understand something that will steady your heart and straighten your path. I weigh actions, not appearances. I measure motives, not performances. I see what people applaud, and I also see what they never notice. And there are deeds that reach me like smoke that darkens the sky. Deeds that pretend to be care while carrying control, that pretend to be guidance while carrying greed, that pretend to be love while carrying harm. Some of you have wondered, why did it happen to me? Others have asked, why was no one stopped? And some have whispered, did God see? I am answering you now. I saw the first moment your trust was used against you. I saw the fear you learned to hide. I saw the questions you were told not to ask. I saw the way your faith became heavy instead of freeing. And I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone else could. Here is what I want you to know today. I never asked you to carry what wounded you. I never designed my truth to become a cage. I never authorized anyone to use my name as a weapon. The moment someone uses power to dominate instead of serve, the moment someone uses words to bind instead of heal, they step away from my heart, even if they keep using my language. Do not let the confusion of human behavior rewrite the truth of who I am. I am not a God who enjoys control. I am not a God who feeds on fear. I am not a God who demands silence from the hurting. I am a God who brings people out of graves, not into them. And I need you to hear this carefully. Influence is not ownership. Authority is not permission to wound. Leadership is not a license to crush. The higher someone stands, the more carefully they must walk. The more people listen to them, the more responsible they become for where those people are led. Something they can hide behind success. Something they can hide behind religion. Something they can hide behind time. But nothing is hidden from me forever. Truth is patient. Justice is steady. And exposure is not a question of if, only when. But today is not only about warning, it is also about alignment. I am calling you to become a person who adds weight to hope, not to burdens. I am calling you to become someone who leaves people stronger, not smaller. I am calling you to become someone who guards hearts, not gathers control. Look at your words. Do they build or do they bend? Look at your influence. Does it free or does it trap? Look at your presence. Do people breathe easier or grow quieter around you? These are not questions of perfection. They are questions of direction. And for those who have been hurt, let me speak healing into you. Your story is not over. Damage is not destiny. What was done to you does not get to define the rest of your life. I can restore what was stolen. I can untangle what was twisted. I can rebuild what was broken in ways you did not think were possible. But healing requires honesty. Healing requires courage. Healing requires you to stop protecting what hurt you. You do not honor me by staying silent about wounds. You honor me by bringing them into my light. And for those who have done wrong, hear this, not as rejection, but as rescue. Turn back while you can. Pride will not protect you. Justification will not save you. Only truth, humility, and repentance can stop what is already moving toward exposure. I do not delight in downfall. I delight in transformation. But I will not allow destruction to continue unchallenged. Let me tell you something that will guide your life. Every human soul is more valuable than any system, any reputation, any platform, any image. When people become tools instead of treasures, something holy has already been lost. So I'm teaching you to live differently, to speak carefully, to touch gently, to lead humbly, to correct with love, to serve without needing control. This is how my kingdom moves, quietly, truly, powerfully. If you are listening and you feel the settling in your heart not as fear but as clarity, write in the comments, I choose to be someone who heals, not harms. Let that be a line you draw in your life starting today. Stay with me. Do not rush away from this journey. What you are learning here is not just for knowledge, it is for protection, for wisdom, for a life that does not leave wreckage behind it. In the next part, I will show you how to recognize false authority, how to protect your spirit, and how to walk in strength without becoming hard. Learn to discern, so you are not devoured. Listen closely, my child, because what I am about to teach you now will save you from many wounds you never needed to carry. Not every open door is from me. Not every gentle voice is safe. Not every person who speaks in my name walks with my heart. And not every place that feels spiritual is healthy for your soul. I want you to understand something deeply. Discernment is not suspicion, it is wisdom. It is not about becoming fearful. It is about becoming clear. It is not about judging everyone. It is about learning to recognize what aligns with my spirit and what does not. In this world, there are voices that comfort and voices that control. There are leaders who serve and leaders who consume. There are teachings that free and teachings that quietly chain. And the danger is not always in what is loud and aggressive. Often the greatest harm comes from what is gentle, reasonable, and slowly shifting you away from truth. My child, here is a truth many learn too late. What begins as guidance can become a cage if it is not rooted in love. Watch the fruit, not just the words. Watch the pattern, not just the promises. Watch how people treat those who disagree, not just those who obey. If someone cannot be questioned, they are not safe. If someone demands loyalty more than truth, they are not from me. If someone builds their identity by making others feel small, they are not walking in my spirit. I do not rule through fear. I do not lead through pressure. I do not grow my kingdom by breaking people. I lead through truth. I guide through light. I correct through love. My child, I want you to pay attention to what happens inside you around certain people and environments. Do you feel clearer or more confused? Do you feel more alive or more afraid? Do you feel drawn closer to me or more dependent on a human voice? Dependence on me brings freedom. Dependence on humans always ends in disappointment. This does not mean you walk alone. I created you for community. But community is meant to strengthen your spine, not replace it. Any environment that trains you to stop thinking, stop questioning, and stop listening to your conscience is not from me. I gave you a mind. I gave you a conscience. I gave you my spirit. Use them. Some of you stayed too long in places that were slowly draining you. You told yourself, it must be me. I must not be spiritual enough. I must not be humble enough. But hear me, not every discomfort is conviction and not every pressure is my voice. I convict to restore. I do not shame to control. Learn this difference and you will avoid many traps. And to those of you who influence others, listen carefully. Do not train people to depend on your voice more than mine. If they cannot stand without you, something is wrong. If their faith collapses when you are not there, something was built on the wrong foundation. I am the foundation. You are not meant to replace me in anyone's life. You are meant to point to me. My child, let me give you a simple compass. If it produces fear, control, pride, secrecy, or silence, it is not from me. If it produces humility, freedom, truth, growth, and light, it is from me. This is not complicated. It is honest. You do not need to become hard to become wise. You do not need to become cold to become strong. You need to become rooted. rooted in truth, rooted in love, rooted in my presence. Because when you are rooted, storms do not uproot you. When you are rooted, manipulators cannot move you. When you are rooted, you can stand in love without being swallowed by darkness. And let me speak to those who are wounded by false authority. You are not broken beyond repair. Your trust can be healed. Your heart can be strong again. But this time it would be wiser, not naive, softer, but not unguarded. That is not bitterness, that is maturity. If these words are helping you see more clearly, write in the comments, Lord, give me discernment and a clean heart. Let that be your prayer today. Stay with me. This journey is shaping you into someone who will not only walk safely, but will also help others walk safely. In the next part, I will speak to you about power, humility, and how true greatness looks in my kingdom. TDU power never needs to crush. Come closer, my child, and listen not with fear, but with hunger for truth. The world has taught you that power is love, that authority must dominate, that leadership must be proven by control. But my kingdom does not move like the world. My ways are not built on intimidation. My strength is not proven by how many people bow, but by how many are lifted. Let me tell you something eternal. True power never needs to crush. True authority never needs to threaten. True leadership never needs to humiliate. I do not rule through force. I rule through truth. I do not build through fear. I build through love. And anyone who uses pressure, fear, or shame to hold people is not walking in my spirit, even if they keep using my name. Look at me. I could command armies. I could silence nations. I could shake the earth with a word. And yet, I come gently. I knock. I invite. I wash feet. I heal wounds. I carry crosses. This is what power looks like in my kingdom. My child, I want you to examine something in your life. How do you respond when you have influence? Do you listen more or do you demand more? Do you serve more or do you expect more? Do you create safety or do you create fear? Influence reveals the heart. Some of the greatest damage in the world is not done by obviously evil people, but by unhealed people in positions of authority. I do not mean to harm, but they have never let me heal their need for control, their insecurity, or their fear of losing importance. And unhealed hearts will always try to protect themselves with power. But hear me, I am not impressed by titles. I am not moved by platforms. I am not convinced by crowds. I look at how you treat the weakest person who depends on you. That tells me everything. If you are a parent, you are shaping souls. If you are a leader, you are shaping directions. If you are a teacher, you are shaping minds. If you are a believer, you are shaping examples. And shaping requires humility more than strength. Do not be afraid of humility. Humility is not weakness. Humility is clarity. It is knowing who you are without needing to prove it by standing on others. My child, I never called you to be impressive. I called you to be faithful. I never asked you to be untouchable. I asked you to be clean in heart. When someone leads in my spirit, people grow, not shrink. People heal, not hide. People become brave, not dependent. People move closer to me, not closer to a human throne. This is how you recognize healthy authority. And for those of you who were wounded by harsh leadership, let me tell you this gently. I am not asking you to trust blindly again. I am asking you to trust wisely. There is a difference. Your heart does not need to close. It needs to become rooted. And for those who lead, let me warn you in love. Do not build your identity on being needed. Build it on being obedient. If you need people to stay small so you can feel big, something in you needs healing. Come to me. I heal leaders too. My child, the world is full of noise. But my kingdom is built quietly, faithfully, and cleanly. It grows in hearts before it shows in crowds. Choose to be a person who carries authority like a towel, not like a weapon. If you desire to lead, lead by serving. If you desire to teach, teach by living. If you desire to correct, correct with tears in your eyes, not pride in your heart. This is my way. And if you feel my spirit speaking to you about your own heart, your own influence, your own posture, write in the comments, Lord, teach me to lead like you. Do not stop here. What you are learning is reshaping how you walk through this world. In the next part, I will speak to you about healing the wounded heart and breaking the cycle of harm. I yield so you do not become what hurt you. Come and rest for a moment, my child. You have heard hard truths, deep truths, and necessary truths. But now I want to speak to you not as a judge who warns, but as a father who heals. Because many who listen to my words carry wounds they did not choose, scars they did not earn, and burdens they were never meant to hold. Hear me clearly. I heal you so you do not become what hurt you. Pain has a strange way of trying to reproduce itself. Wounds that are ignored often turn into walls. Betrayals that are never processed often turn into bitterness. Control that was forced on you can, if you are not careful, become the way you try to feel safe in the future. But that is not your destiny. You were not created to pass on what broke you. You were created to end cycles, not continue them. Some of you learn to survive by becoming quiet. Some of you learn to survive by becoming strong. Some of you learn to survive by becoming invisible. Some of you learn to survive by becoming sharp and guarded. I do not shame you for what you did to survive, but I am inviting you to something better than survival. I am inviting you to healing. Healing does not mean pretending nothing happened. Healing does not mean minimizing what was done. Healing does not mean forgetting. Healing means what happened to you no longer controls who you become. My child, if you do not let me heal your wounds, you will eventually start bleeding on people who did not cut you. And that is not because you are evil. It is because pain seeks release. But I am here to release you. Bring me the memories you avoid. Bring me the anger you hide. Bring me the questions you are afraid to ask. Bring me the part of you that still feels small, afraid, or unworthy. I am not afraid of any of it. And listen to me carefully. Forgiveness is not the same as denial. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. It is saying what happened will not own you anymore. Some of you think, if I let go, then they win. No, my child. If you let go, you are free. Freedom does not excuse the offender. It releases the captive. And let me also speak to this. Healing does not mean you must put yourself back into unsafe situations. Wisdom is part of healing. Boundaries are not unloving. They are holy. I do not ask you to return to what destroyed you. I ask you to walk forward into what restores you. And now, listen to something very important. A healed heart carries authority without cruelty, strength without hardness, and love without fear. When I heal you, you become a safe place for others. You become a person who lifts instead of controls. You become a person who understands pain without spreading it. This is how the world changes, not by pretending evil did not happen, but by refusing to let it multiply through you. And for those of you who are realizing, I have hurt others because I was hurt. Hear me. Do not stay in shame. Come to me. Shame keeps cycles alive. Repentance breaks them. Humility opens the door to transformation. You are not beyond repair. You are not disqualified. You are not trapped in who you have been. I am a God who makes all things new. My child, I am teaching you to become a person who is strong enough to be gentle and healed enough to be safe. If you desire this healing, this freedom, this new way of living, write in the comments, Lord, heal my heart and make me whole. Let that be your prayer today. And remember, what I heal in you today will protect others tomorrow. Stay with me. You are being rebuilt, not just comforted. In the next part, I will speak to you about truth, exposure, and why light is not your enemy. The light is not your enemy. Come, my child, and do not be afraid of what I am about to say. Many run from the light because they think it only exists to expose and shame. But listen to me. The light does not come to destroy you. The light comes to free you. Darkness feels safe only when you are wounded. Secrecy feels protective only when you are afraid. But nothing truly heals in hiding. Nothing truly changes in silence. Nothing truly becomes new while it remains in the shadows. I am not a God who hunts you with light. I am a God who rescues you with truth. Some of you have spent years carrying things you never told anyone, not because you are evil, but because you were afraid. Afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of being rejected, afraid of being judged, afraid of losing what little safety you felt you had. But hear me, what you hide still shapes you. What you bury still speaks. What you avoid still controls. I am not asking you to expose yourself to unsafe people. Wisdom chooses the right place and the right time. But I am asking you not to live a double life. One where you smile on the outside and bleed on the inside. I do not heal masks, I heal hearts. My child, there is something powerful that happens when truth is spoken in the presence of love. Shame loses its grip, fear loses its authority, lies lose their voice. That is why those who want to control always fear the light. Light makes manipulation impossible. Light makes secrets weak. Light makes lies unstable. But for the one who wants to be whole, light is not a threat. It is a doorway. Some of you are afraid that if your story is known, you will be rejected. Let me tell you something deeper. You are already known by me, and I have not left. I have seen every chapter. I have counted every tear. I have weighed every burden, and I am still here. And to those who are hiding, not because they were hurt, but because they have hurt others, hear me carefully. Exposure is mercy when it stops destruction. Discipline is love when it prevents further harm. Consequences are not the opposite of grace. Sometimes they are the form grace takes. I do not expose to humiliate. I expose to heal and to protect. My child, the light does not only reveal sin, it also reveals lies you believed about yourself. It shows you that you are not as broken as you thought. It shows you that your story is not over. It shows you that what was done to you does not get the final word. And it also shows you where change is truly needed. Let me ask you gently, what are you still hiding from me? Not because I do not know, but because you have not yet trusted me with it. You do not heal by being strong. You heal by being honest. You do not become free by pretending. You become free by coming into the light. And let me say this clearly, confession is not about punishment. It is about alignment. It is about bringing what is twisted back into what is true. It is about letting my life flow where shame built walls. My child, I am not building a people who look perfect. I am building a people who walk in truth. And when you walk in truth, you stop being controlled by your past. You stop being afraid of being found out. You stop living in fragments. You start living whole. If you feel my spirit touching something tender in you right now, write in the comments, Lord, I choose truth over hiding. Let that be your declaration today. Stay with me. You are not being exposed, you are being restored. In the next part, I will speak to you about accountability, justice, and why love does not ignore harm. Love does not look away. Come and listen, my child, because what I am about to tell you will correct a dangerous misunderstanding. Anything that love means silence, that grace means ignoring, that kindness means allowing harm to continue. But hear me clearly, love does not look away. Love protects. Love confronts. Love intervenes. I am not a God who covers evil with religious words. I am a God who stops it. There is a kind of false peace that is built on avoidance. It says, do not stir trouble, do not ask questions, do not expose anything, do not make it uncomfortable. But that is not my peace. That is fear wearing a holy mask. My peace is built on truth. My child, when someone is being harmed and everyone stays quiet, silence becomes a partner in the damage. When a wound is hidden, it does not heal, it spreads. When a pattern is protected, it does not stop, it grows. Do not call it love to protect what is destroying people. I want you to understand something important. Accountability is not cruelty, it is clarity. It is saying this is not okay and it will not continue. It is drawing a line not out of hatred but out of responsibility. Some of you were taught that confronting wrong is unloving. But I tell you this, letting harm continue is the most unloving thing you can do. Look at how I work. I correct because I care. I discipline because I protect. I expose because I heal. And yes, justice is part of love. Justice is not revenge. Justice is not hatred. Justice is not cruelty. Justice is love that refuses to let destruction keep ruling. My child, if you see someone being abused, manipulated, or exploited, and you have the power to speak, do not stay silent. Your voice may be the door I use to rescue someone. And if you are the one who has been harmed, hear me. You are not wrong for wanting justice. You are not bitter for wanting safety. You are not weak for wanting the truth to be known. I am a God who stands with the oppressed, not with the image makers. And to those who have done harm, listen to me with a sober heart. Grace does not cancel responsibility. Forgiveness does not remove consequences. Mercy does not mean pretending nothing happened. Sometimes the most loving thing I do is stop you. Because if I do not, you may destroy yourself and others. My child, I am teaching you a mature love, not a fragile one. A love that can speak, a love that can draw boundaries, a love that can say no without becoming hateful. And I'm also teaching you this, you do not have to carry this alone. There are proper authorities, there are safe people, there are processes that exist to protect the vulnerable. Using them is not betrayal, it is wisdom. Do not confuse loyalty to people with faithfulness to me. I never asked you to protect systems, I asked you to protect hearts. If these words are strengthening your courage, write in the comments, Lord, make me brave enough to stand for what is right. Let that be your prayer today. Stay with me. You are learning how my love actually works in a broken world. In the next part, I will speak to you about forgiveness, justice, and how to walk free without denying truth. Fog. Eveness is not the same as pretending. Come closer, my child, and listen with a heart that wants to be free, not just relieved. There are words that have been misunderstood and misused, and one of them is forgiveness. Some have turned it into a weapon to silence the wounded. Some have used it to protect the guilty. Some have spoken it too quickly, without truth, without justice, without healing. But hear me clearly, forgiveness is not the same as pretending. It is not denial, it is not forgetting. It is not calling evil small, and it is not returning to what destroyed you. Forgiveness is not about erasing what happened. It is about breaking the chain of what happened, so it no longer controls your future. My child, you can forgive and still tell the truth. You can forgive and still set boundaries. You can forgive and still seek justice. You can forgive and still walk away. Because forgiveness is about what you release from your heart, not about what you allow back into your life. Some of you were told, if you don't forgive, you are bitter. But I tell you this, rushing forgiveness without healing only buries pain alive. And buried pain does not disappear, it waits. I am not asking you to pretend it did not hurt. I am not asking you to pretend it did not matter. I am not asking you to pretend they did not know what they were doing. I am asking you to let me heal you so deeply that what they did no longer owns space in your soul. That is real forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to the person who hurt you. It is a key you use to unlock your own prison. But let me also say this with clarity and balance. Forgiveness does not cancel accountability. If someone broke the law still matters. If someone abused trust does not magically return. If someone harmed the vulnerable, they do not get to continue in the same position. That is not unforgiveness. That is wisdom. I do not restore people to positions. I restore them to processes. And restoration requires repentance, time, change, and fruit. My child, there is a difference between a sorry mouth and a changed life. Do not confuse tears with transformation. Do not confuse words with fruit. Do not confuse apology with safety. I care about your safety. And to those who struggle to forgive, not because they are proud, but because they are deeply wounded, hear me gently, I am patient with you. Forgiveness is not a performance, it is a journey. Sometimes it comes in layers, sometimes it comes with tears, sometimes it comes after much healing. Walk with me. Do not rush yourself. Do not shame yourself. And to those who want forgiveness but do not want to change, Hear me honestly, forgiveness is not a shield against consequences. It is an invitation to transformation. If you refuse to change, you are not seeking forgiveness. You are seeking permission. My child, I am teaching you to live in truth and freedom at the same time. Truth without love becomes cruel. Love without truth becomes dangerous. But when they walk together, healing happens. If you want a heart that is free, clean and strong, not trapped in bitterness and not naive about evil, write in the comments, Lord, teach me true forgiveness and true wisdom. Stay with me. You are learning how to walk in freedom without losing clarity. In the next part, I will speak to you about restoration, trust, and how rebuilding really works. Trust is rebuilt with truth, not with time come. And sit with me for a moment, my child, because what I am about to tell you will save you from many future wounds. Many think that time heals everything, that distance alone restores what was broken, that silence slowly repairs what was damaged. But hear me clearly, time does not heal trust, truth does. Trust is not repaired by waiting, trust is repaired by change, trust is not rebuilt by words, trust is rebuilt by fruit. My child, I am a God of restoration, but I am also a God of wisdom. I do not rebuild on unstable foundations. I do not call you to pretend. I do not ask you to expose your heart to what has not proven itself safe. Some of you are standing at a crossroads wondering, should I let this person back in? And I am not answering that question with pressure. I am answering it with clarity. Look at the pattern, not the promise. Words are easy. Tears can be rehearsed. Apologies can be spoken, but character is revealed over time through consistent behavior. If someone says they have changed, but they still avoid accountability, they have not changed. If someone says they are sorry, but they still blame others, they have not changed. If someone says they are different, but they still protect their image more than truth, they have not changed. Repentance is not proven by emotion. It is proven by direction. My child, rebuilding trust is not a right, it is a responsibility, and it is not owed to anyone who has not done the work of transformation. You are not unloving for moving slowly. You are not unforgiving for requiring fruit. You are not cruel for protecting your heart. You are wise. And let me also speak to those who want trust restored. Do not demand what must be earned. Do not rush the process. Do not complain about boundaries that exist because of your own actions. Humility is part of healing. When trust is broken, the road back is not walked with words. It is walked with consistency, transparency, and patience. My child, I rebuild things differently than the world. The world rushes to look normal. I take time to make things healthy. And sometimes, hear me carefully, restoration does not mean reunion. Sometimes I restore your heart without restoring the relationship. That is not failure, that is protection. Not every door that closed needs to be reopened. Not every chapter that ended needs a sequel. Not every bridge that burned needs to be rebuilt. Some endings are mercy. And yet when restoration is real, it is beautiful. It is slow. It is honest. It is humble. It does not hide. It does not hurry. It does not demand, it grows. My child, let me ask you something. Are you rebuilding your life on truth, or are you trying to decorate what was never healed? Do not build your future on unhealed foundations. I am not in a hurry. I am interested in what lasts. If you are learning to walk wisely, to rebuild carefully, and to trust my process more than your emotions, write in the comments, Lord, help me rebuild my life on truth. Stay with me. You are being taught how to build something that will not collapse again. In the next part, I will speak to you about identity, worth, and why what happened to you does not define you. You are not what happened to you. Come here, my child, and listen with a heart that is ready to receive truth, not just comfort. There are labels the world puts on you. There are names pain tries to give you. There are identities trauma attempts to write over your soul. But I am speaking now to correct every lie with my truth. You are not what happened to you. You are not your worst memory. You are not your deepest wound. You are not the thing that broke you. You are not the sin that touched your story. You are who I created you to be. Some of you have lived for years under a quiet sentence in your heart. I am damaged. I am less. I am different now. I am not what I could have been. And that sentence has shaped your choices, your relationships, your confidence, your expectations. But hear me, pain may have marked your story, but it does not own your identity. What happened to you is part of your history. It is not your name. My child, the enemy loves to take an event and turn it into an identity. He loves to take a wound and turn it into a definition. He loves to take a season and turn it into a destiny. But I am the God who renames people. I took the rejected and called them chosen. I took the broken and called them whole. I took the ashamed and called them righteous. I took the fearful and called them courageous. And I'm doing that with you. You may have been treated like you were disposable, but you are precious. You may have been used, but you are not an object. You may have been silenced, but you are not invisible. You may have been betrayed, but you are not unworthy of love. Do not build your future with the vocabulary of your past. My child, let me say this gently. Healing also means updating how you see yourself. Some of you have changed on the inside, but you still speak about yourself with the language of old pain. You say, I'm just broken. You say, I'm just not good at relationships. You say, this is just how I am now. But that is not how I speak about you. I call you beloved. I call you redeemed. I call you new. I call you mine. And when I make something new, I do not make a repaired version of the old. I make something transformed. My child, your value was not reduced by what someone did to you. Your worth was established by me before they ever touched your story. You do not need to earn your dignity. You do not need to prove your value. You do not need to apologize for taking up space. You belong. And let me also speak to those who are tempted to define themselves by what they did wrong. Your worst mistake is not your identity either. Repentance does not leave you labeled. It leaves you changed. I do not call you by your sin. I do not call you by your failure. I call you by your name. And your name in my heart is child. My child, when you know who you are, you stop accepting what destroys you. You stop chasing what diminishes you. You stop living small. Identity shapes boundaries. Identity shapes courage. Identity shapes choices. And I am restoring yours. If you are ready to let my truth, not your trauma, define you, write in the comments. Lord, teach me to see myself the way you see me. Stay with me. You are not just healing, you are being redefined. In the next part, I will speak to you about purpose, calling, and how your story becomes a source of light instead of pain. Your story was not meant to end in pain. Come and listen, my child, with a heart that is learning to hope again. I know there are chapters in your life you would erase if you could. I know there are seasons you survived, not lived. I know there are memories that still ache when you touch them. But hear me now, and hear me deeply. Your story was not meant to end in pain. Pain may have interrupted your journey, but it was never meant to be your destination. I am a God who does not waste wounds. I do not cause evil, but I redeem what evil tried to destroy. I take ashes and shape them into testimony. I take what was meant to silence you and give it a voice that heals others. My child, there is a difference between being shaped by pain and being sent with purpose. One makes you smaller, the other makes you stronger. I am not calling you to relive what hurt you. I am calling you to let what I healed in you become light for someone else. Your compassion will come from what you survived. Your wisdom will come from what you walked through. Your gentleness will come from what you know it feels like to be wounded. This does not glorify the pain. It glorifies the redemption. Some of you think, I just want a normal life. And that is not wrong. But hear me, your life will not only be normal, it will be meaningful. I am not just restoring you for your comfort. I am restoring you for impact. But listen carefully, purpose is not pressure. I am not rushing you. I am not using you. I am not putting you on display. Healing comes before sending. You do not have to be a voice before you are whole. You do not have to serve before you can breathe. You do not have to help others while you are still bleeding. Rest is part of preparation. But one day you will notice that your story no longer hurts to tell. And that is when you will realize it has become a bridge, not a wound. My child, do not compare your calling to others. Some are sent to speak to crowds. Some are sent to love one person well. Some are sent to build. Some are sent to protect. Some are sent to restore quietly. All of it matters. And let me say this. Your calling will never require you to return to unsafe places or unhealthy people. I do not use you as bait. I do not send you back into what I rescued you from. I send you forward. And to those who feel unqualified because of their past, hear me. Your story does not disqualify you. It equips you. Humility, compassion, discernment, patience. These are born in places classrooms cannot teach. But remember this, your purpose is not to be known. It is to be faithful. If you want your life to be in my hands, shaped by my wisdom and used in my time, write in the comments, Lord, use my story for good. Stay with me. You are not just being healed, you are being prepared. In the next part, I will speak to you about the kind of people you should walk with and how to build healthy, safe community. Do not walk alone, but walk wisely. Come, my child, and listen with a heart that is learning to choose well. I did not create you to heal alone, to grow alone, or to carry life by yourself. But I also did not create you to place your heart in unsafe hands. You need people and you need wisdom, both. Some of your deepest wounds did not come from enemies. They came from the wrong people in the wrong places with the wrong access to your heart. That is why I am teaching you not only how to love, but how to discern. Not everyone who wants to walk with you is meant to walk with you. Not everyone who smiles at you is safe for you. Not everyone who speaks spiritually will treat you spiritually. Community is powerful, but the wrong community can slowly reshape you into someone you were never meant to be. My child, healthy community does not control, it supports. Healthy community does not silence, it listens. Healthy community does not compete, it celebrates. Healthy community does not shame, it restores. Pay attention to how people respond when you set boundaries. That will tell you a lot about their heart. If they honor them, they are safe. If they pressure you, be careful. If they mock them, step back. If they punish you for them, walk away. I'm not asking you to build walls. I'm asking you to build gates. Let me also teach you this. Do not confuse familiarity with safety. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time does not mean they are healthy for your future. And do not confuse loneliness with a reason to stay in bad company. It is better to walk alone for a season than to be shaped by what will damage you. But hear me. I am not calling you to isolation. I am calling you to alignment. I will bring the right people at the right time. Some will be for a season, some will be for a journey, some will be for a lifetime, and you will recognize them by their fruit. They do not rush your healing, they do not feed your fears, they do not need to control you, they do not compete with your calling, they do not shrink when you grow. They help you breathe, they help you become more yourself, not less. And let me also speak to you about being a safe person, not just finding safe people. Do you listen before you speak? Do you keep what is entrusted to you? Do you protect or do you expose? Do you build or do you drain? You attract what you become. If you become safe, you will find safe. My child, community is not about perfection. It is about honesty, humility, and growth. And when I build your circle, I do not just look at who is talented. I look at who is clean in heart. If you desire to walk with the right people and to become a safe person yourself, write in the comments, Lord, lead me into healthy relationships. Stay with me. You are learning not only how to heal, but how to live well. In the next part, I will speak to you about guarding your heart and protecting what I am rebuilding in you. Guard what I am rebuilding in you. Come closer, my child, and listen with a heart that is learning to value what is holy. Healing is not only something I do to you, it is also something I teach you to protect. Because anything that is being rebuilt is vulnerable for a season. When a bone is healing, it must be guarded. When a foundation is being set, it must not be shaken. When a heart is being restored, it must not be exposed to careless hands. My child, not everything that is allowed is helpful, and not everything that is familiar is safe. You cannot heal in the same environment that keeps wounding you. Let me teach you something important. Your peace is not fragile, but it is valuable. And valuable things are protected. You do not guard your heart by fear. You guard it by wisdom. You guard it by choices. You guard it by saying yes to what gives life and no to what drains it. Some of you think strength means you can go anywhere, tolerate anything, and carry everything. But hear me. Maturity is knowing what you do not need to expose yourself to anymore. You do not have to prove you are healed by returning to places that made you bleed. Pay attention to what pulls you backward. Pay attention to what stirs old patterns. Pay attention to what steals your clarity. This is not weakness, this is stewardship. My child, I am rebuilding your identity, your trust, your courage, your joy. Do not let impatience rush you back into relationships, environments, or habits that can undo in months what took years to repair. Healing loves patience. And let me also say this, guarding your heart does not mean closing your heart. It means choosing carefully who and what has access to it. Not everyone deserves the front row seat in your life. Some people belong in the lobby, some belong in the hallway, some do not belong in the building at all. And that is not hatred, that is order. My child, the enemy does not always come with destruction. Sometimes he comes with distraction. Sometimes he comes with comfort, that is not from me. Sometimes he comes with nostalgia, that is not healthy. Do not let old seasons talk you out of new beginnings. And now let me speak to you about your inner life. Guard your thoughts. Guard what you feed your mind. Guard what you allow to shape your emotions. Guard what you repeatedly listen to, because what you allow in your inner world will eventually build your outer life. If you protect what I am building, it will last. And remember, you are not alone in this. My spirit in you is your strength, your wisdom, your guide. If you want to be faithful with what I am restoring in you, write in the comments, Lord, help me guard my heart and my life. Stay with me. You are almost at the place where what was fragile becomes strong. In the next part, I will speak to you about perseverance, patience, and finishing your journey well. Do not stop halfway. Come and sit with me, my child, because what I am about to tell you is the difference between a life that starts healing and a life that finishes strong. Many begin the journey, many take the first steps, many feel the first relief, but not everyone continues when the road becomes quiet, when the excitement fades, when the progress becomes slow and invisible. Hear me clearly, do not stop halfway. What I begin in you, I intend to complete. What I heal in you, I intend to strengthen. What I restore in you, I intend to establish. But perseverance is the bridge between breakthrough and stability. Some of you felt strong at the beginning of this journey. You were motivated. You were hopeful. You were determined. And then life happened. Progress felt slow. Old feelings tried to return. Old voices tried to speak again. And you wondered, am I really changing? My child, growth is often quiet. Foundations are laid underground before anything shows above the surface. Do not measure your healing by your emotions. Do not measure your growth by your speed. Do not measure your transformation by perfection. Measure it by direction. Are you more honest than you used to be? Are you more aware than you used to be? Are you choosing differently than you used to? Are you kinder to yourself than you were before? That is progress. The enemy loves to say, nothing is changing. But I say, everything is changing even when you cannot yet see it. My child, endurance is not about forcing yourself. It is about staying aligned. There will be days when you feel strong. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be days when you feel clear. There will be days when you feel confused. Do not build your life on feelings. Build it on truth and commitment. And listen carefully. Setbacks do not mean you failed. They mean you are human. What matters is not that you never stumble, but that you do not make the ground your home. Get up. Come back to me. Continue. I am not disappointed in you for being tired. I am walking with you. Some of you are tempted to go back to what is familiar because it feels easier than continuing forward. But remember, what is familiar is not always what is healthy. Do not trade long-term freedom for short-term comfort. My child, finishing well is not about being perfect. It is about being faithful. Faithful in small choices. Faithful in quiet days. Faithful when no one is applauding. Faithful when progress feels slow. This is how strong lives are built. And let me tell you something beautiful. There will come a day when you look back and realize you are no longer who you used to be. Not because of one big moment, but because of many faithful steps. If you want the strength to continue to endure and to finish what you started with me, write in the comments, Lord, help me finish well, stay with me. You are closer than you think. In the final part, I will speak to you about hope, promise, and the life I am leading you into. Your future is not behind you. Come and listen one last time in this journey, my child. Not with a heart that is afraid, but with a heart that is ready to step forward. You have walked through truth. You have faced wounds. You have learned to discern, to heal, to guard, to rebuild, and to endure. Now hear this with all the strength of heaven behind it. Your future is not behind you. It is not in what you lost. It is not in what failed. It is not in what was taken from you. It is not in what broke you. Your future is with me, and I only move forward. Some of you have been living as if your best days were before the pain, before the betrayal, before the loss, before the fall. But I am telling you now, what is ahead of you is not a smaller life. It is a wiser, deeper, stronger life. You are not starting over as someone weaker. You are moving forward as someone refined. What you have learned has weight. What you have survived has given you depth. What you have healed has given you clarity. What you have endured has given you strength. You are not who you were. And that is not loss, that is growth. My child, do not be afraid of the future. I am already there. I am not leading you into uncertainty. I am leading you into purpose, stability, and peace that is rooted, not fragile. There will still be challenges, but you will not face them the same way. There will still be choices, but you will choose with wisdom. There will still be people, but you will walk with discernment. There will still be risks, but you will not abandon yourself to take them. You are no longer the person who did not know, and that is a gift. Let me tell you something holy. Your life is not a recovery story. It is a redemption story. You are not just surviving, you are becoming. Do not keep visiting graves I already emptied. Do not keep rereading chapters I already closed. Do not keep doubting what I am building just because you remember what was broken. I make all things new, not some things, not partial things, all things. And that includes you. My child, walk forward with humility, but also with confidence. Not confidence in yourself alone, but confidence in my work in you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are being led. And as you go, live like someone who knows they are loved, protected, guided, and held. Be gentle, be brave, be wise, be faithful. And when you stumble, remember, I am not waiting to reject you. I am walking to lift you. If this journey has spoken to your heart, strengthened your faith, and helped you see your life more clearly, write in the comments, Lord, I trust you with my future. Let that be your declaration as you step forward. My child, this is not the end. This is the beginning of a stronger, cleaner, freer life. Walk with me, and I will lead you well.